I'm Joe Anastasi, and I invite you to have a look for a few minutes at this short film we've made of our International Vintage Motorcycle Rally held in Malta last July, as you can see from the picture now. The rally, which is organised of course by the Historic Motorcycle Club of Malta, was sponsored by Blue Label Ale, a beer locally made by Simmons Farsons Jisk. They were of course the main sponsors. However, here you're looking at the Holiday Inn Crown Plaza Hotel, a 5-star hotel which was the base for the rally. Everything virtually started and finished right at this hotel.
I've seen for years. Most of you I've seen ate with, rode with, and everything virtually for the last week.
I think this just about sums up the way the whole rally went. This was the introduction right at the beginning in the Holiday Inn, having our first breakfast together with all the overseas competitors and indeed most of the Maltese competitors. This was simply an introduction to introduce all the officials of the meeting and to introduce everybody to everybody.
From now on, all the aggro goes to them. Right? Can I introduce Tony Vastallo. Tony is one of the clerks of the course. Tim as well. Tim and Tony are the horrible pair that always do all these things for us, right? And Moneybags. Right? Carolyn's secretary of the meeting. Carolyn's been holding the fort while I've been away. She's done a smashing job. I've seen all the correspondence and everything else that she's been doing. Her first job today will be to sort out all the finances with everyone. I don't think there'll be any problems, and you won't get lumbered with any more charges like we were around. Okay? You all know exactly what you owe, so that's it. In fact, apart from your basic entry fees...
And so, the scrutineering, meeting the various competitors, local and overseas, and having a look at the bikes themselves.
Is it one you've restored yourself? Looks lovely. Well, we're looking forward to...
Well, I might take I might do the rally with this one. I might go to the 11 or...
Oh no, you must bring out that lovely Triumph you've got.
I might.
Okay, we'll talk.
You know, I'm taking part in this rally with a MALTESE 350 GTR, 1941, and I come from the village of Goudia.
I'm Bob Hackett from Llandudno in North Wales. I've got a house on the island, so I'm quite used to the place here. I've come out especially for the rally this time.
Good, and which bike are you riding?
The AJS Model 31.
Model 31, and that's, you bought that here on the island and you've been restoring it here?
Correct.
Living at my house, I've got this much less 1940 GTR.
I mean...
They call me Billy, and I'm Billy.
Yeah, and you are Billy as well. That's just as well then, isn't it?
Yeah.
And where are you from?
From Balsan.
Balsan. And have you lived Balsan all your life? Or?
Billy is in actual fact John de Battista. He's a traffic policeman and he's a committee member of the Historic Motorcycle Club, so you will be seeing quite a bit of him.
I'm John Perugia. I live in Gargoul, and I have this Triumph 250, which I'm participating in this first ever motor rally.
And I came from Zurich, and I own this C15 here, which I own it since 1959.
Yeah, you've seen my bike before, I believe, and you know, it's a matchless 500cc, 1946. It had a genuine 10,000 miles on the clock when I first bought it.
In Lawson, this is my uncle's 1963 TA Triumph.
Just let me, why is it your uncle's? Where's yours?
Mine is still being restored, but unfortunately the microwave oven came first.
Oh dear.
So I had to get that first.
Just,
Yeah.
my word, you must have had your passport to come away from there then.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good excuse to come here this week.
Did you know this rally was on, did you?
I did, yeah.
So you're a motorcyclist back home, or?
member of the Vintage Club, yes.
Oh, I see. That's brilliant then. So you've actually...
I found out through the Vintage Club that it was on this week, and that's why we're here, really.
Tour us round on the rally?
Well, yeah, come over especially for this, actually. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring my bikes over, but we've definitely come here for this do. Yeah, we're going to hire a car and follow them around and see where they go.
Well,
England, and taken part in the old Milano to Taranto race, what they call it a race, air racing ride, whichever you like to call it. And we've just had a very eventful run down here to come all the way down to join in the Malta rally. And at the end of it, I'm hoping to spend a little bit of time to have a look at Malta, and wife's coming to fly in and a little bit of a holiday as well.
So you've been allowed out on your own before, have you?
Woman from New Zealand, just arrived here to take part in this rally because I was entered in Italy and thought it was a nice idea to, after the Italian rally, to continue down to Malta and learn about your beautiful island.
Good. Well, I understand from sources.
I am Joker from Tarfin. It's my motorcycle and master, 1956 cycle.
And where are you from?
York in England.
And your name is?
Brian.
And the wife's name?
Mo.
Mo. Okay, and you're both motorcyclists. Have you ridden all the way down from Taranto as well?
No, we've ridden from England. We've been touring in Sicily for 4 days.
Yeah.
So we've come a leisurely way.
You've come a leisurely way, and you've been riding pillion as well?
Oh, yes.
Good, that'll be lovely then.
Pat, I'm Pat, this is Sue. I'm not a boy named Sue.
No.
We've come down from England. We're reasonably regular visitors to Malta, and we couldn't miss the rally. We've had to leave the work at home, and we're really looking forward to it. This is the director.
I'm Albert Pisani. I'm the club secretary. This is my matchless G3LC, freshly restored and finished yesterday night.
And what's this lovely motorcycle?
It's a BSA Road Rocket 1955, which I restored recently.
It's beautiful, isn't it? This is why we like motorcycling in Malta.
Yes, it's terrific. It's almost time to say that all motorcycling starts off with a cap with a peak at the back.
That's
you
what
must do that, you see.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's supposed to be like that.
I understand you've been to the Milan-Taranto.
Yes, with Erhard, the two guzzes completed very satisfactorily the Milan-Taranto, 1,500 kilometres. Quite a hard event, starting in the rain and going on into sunshine and very good roads. Unfortunately, a little too good, as a little later on your camera might look at the damage on the back of this bike, proving that I dropped it in quite a considerable way. And all the back light has been replaced, and it went backwards down the road, and that comes of trying to go around corners too quickly for old tyres.
It's just the tyres, it's not the old riders.
It could be the old riders, but I'm not admitting anything.
Well, you didn't introduce yourself in the first.
Sorry, Alan Robinson, member of the Surrey Police team back home, but have done 3 Milan-Tarantos, but this of course is my very first visit to Malta. What a place you have here, very nice.
Fantastic, isn't it? Good morning.
Hello. I am Erhard Linke from Munich of Germany, and I came here with Alan. We did the Milano-Taranto first and then went over last night.
Good. And have you done the Taranto before, or?
Yes, this also with Alan. I did it 3 times already now, and it was again an amazing job doing all these long streets and curbs and going on these roads of the Emilia for the cars.
For the cars, yeah.
Yes, and it was bad the first night because we had tremendous long rain and the roads were very, very slippery, and the lights on the old bikes are not so very sufficient and not to the standards as we have it today.
I shouldn't think Gerhard will have much of a problem with slippery or rain or any of those things in Malta.
My name is Peter Barringer and I come from Berkshire in England, and I've been riding a 1937 Flying Squirrel Scott 600 cc's.
chief steward for this event. Although not directly involved with the HMC at the moment, I go back a few years with Jojo in organizing motor racing events locally and karting events, and he asked me to help him out for this vintage rally, and I was only too glad to do so.
Vasella, I'm the scrutineer and organizer of the rally, and in conjunction with Timmy, who's helping me as well.
Tony did all the scrutineering, all the actual mechanical side of the scrutineering, while Timmy looked after paperwork and Carolyn looked after the money side. Nothing too strenuous, of course, just to see that the wheels didn't fall off and etc. And to see that the motorcycles all conform with the Maltese traffic regulations.
This is obviously a very important part of the...
I'm Timmy Zamit. I'm one of the officials of this rally. Today we're going to be doing scrutineering of bikes, so we're checking documentation and make sure that the bikes are legal and roadworthy, they have two wheels, etc., etc. Later on in the week we're going to be organizing Gymkhana and the rally. So, being one of the officials, I'll be going around making sure that everything goes well, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, basically.
Good, so it's prime mover for the rally, and we introduced the lady earlier on. She introduced herself as the PRO for Parsons, who's sponsoring the rally.
What else?
And you, what part, are you playing any part in the rally, or just competing? You're taking part. You're not involved as an official?
No, not at all. No.
Not at all?
Nobody is, you know, whoever's taking part is
not involved at all?
Not involved at all.
So, you bought this from England, I understand?
I bought this from England from very little.
Hi.
This is Joe Anastasi. What part have you got in the rally?
Well, my part has just changed, actually. I was the promoter of the whole thing, if you like, but now I'm competing.
Now you're
From now on, from this very moment, I'm now a competitor, in fact.
So, I understand you've just been on the Milan-Taranto rally as well?
Yes, just come back last night.
And Caroline's been organising everything while you've been away?
Yes, she's done a fabulous job. Yes, she's looked after all the organisation while I was away for the whole thing. And now it's her again with Tony, Tim and Bruno's chief steward. They'll be looking after all the organisation of the whole thing now themselves.
Good, and what bike are you riding over the week?
If I can get it started, I haven't started it for ages, my 1928 Triumph. He said, will you be organising another one next year?
And you are, sir?
Mr. Peter Taylor. Milan-Tirana.
It was to the whole organisation at the moment?
I think this is very good, and it's very interesting, and I'm pleased to have been over here when it's all happened. I've had a good long talk to, apart from our friend here, I've had a good long talk to Rod Coleman, who's been a bit of a hero for several years.
Already all the barriers are broken down, everybody's talking, little groups are starting, people that are just spectators, not taking part, have all turned up. Before you know where you are, it's into motorcycling.
More of the scrutineering. This is Secretary Albert Pisani's Matchless being scrutineered by Tony.
CSA M20, I've had it for 25 years, finally got around to restoring it.
Ride up this hill here without putting your feet down, all right? Every time you put your feet down, there'll be marshals along the way, and they'll be counting the number of times that you put your feet down.
Oh dear, what's happened to my aerial? This is Ivor Willoughby, 66-year-old from Australia, who was on the island with Rod Coleman he's an aerial specialist, he's an aerial enthusiast, and he was itching to have a go, so I told him to use my aerial. Why not? As long as he doesn't break it.
What did you think of that for a ride?
Well, the trials part was very much fun, but I'm afraid the road conditions are not really for our high speed and the very high bottom gear machines. The brewery or the President's Palace? Someone will tell us undoubtedly.
Well, if they serve us the beer, we'll carry on where we left off. What about you?
What about me? Yes.
What do you think to our motorways?
On the motorway is okay, but I feel a little bit sandblasted.
Wow, pretty aerated, I think. Bumpy.
A little bumpy.
Good fun.
Good fun.
Yeah.
The London contingent.
Oh, lovely. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was a nice little ride up that hill.
Good. Good palace.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of Malta. Good afternoon.
Your Excellency, I'll speak in English because we have visitors here from all over the world, but everybody speaks English. Even our German friend there, he speaks very good English. Don't you? Oh, yes, yes, I do.
I can understand what you say.
You can. We're here for a week's international rally, the first international rally of vintage motorcycles that has ever been held in Malta. As our Maltese friends and members know, we have had so many international sporting events recently in Malta that Malta has never hosted before. And I'm glad to say this is the first and hopefully won't be the last for vintage motorcycles.
After a little talk by the President as well, of course we had to have the official photo in the President's Palace. The President actually was very, very good indeed. He spoke to everybody, introduced himself to everybody, and apparently he's quite knowledgeable about motorcycles too, having, as a doctor, as a medical doctor during the war, ridden a matchless G3L. What else?
Sorry, beg your pardon. Coleman. Mr. Ron Coleman is a very important figure for us because he is a famous motorcycle racer of the past. He now is yes. And he's still quicker than I am. Even today.
Let's keep to the present.
I spent a week with him in Italy now, on a rally in Italy, and I must say I have learned how to ride a motorcycle.
You'll be in here now with the Queen and everybody, will you?
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. You could become famous if you're not careful.
I could indeed.
The President had quite a long look at all the motorcycles parked in the yard of the palace, and made some very favourable comments generally, but of course his favourite was the matchless. He spotted the G3Ls straight away, and he knew all about them. He knew where the gear lever was, he knew where the brake pedal was, he knew everything, so he obviously wasn't kidding.
There we are. Quite as a hard day with some specialists, huh?
brewery, ready for our tour around the brewery. Right, what do you think of it so far? What was the beer like? Hop leaf. Blue Label.
Margaret Thatcher drinks it, Blue Label.
Margaret Thatcher drinks Blue Label.
The Iron Lady.
I drink Tetley's.
Yeah, but look where you come from, what it's done to your knees.
Yes, it wouldn't be so bad really if there was a matching pair, would it?
Come on, Pat. Come on, Mike. What are you waiting for, right?
Okay, that's rounded off a thoroughly brilliant morning. Right, good morning. What?
And Joe Anastasi contacted me about 4 or 5 months ago to help him organize this rally, and it's been tremendous fun. We're doing it with Blue Label, which is a very traditional beer here in Malta, so it's going with traditional motorcycles, motorbikes. It seems like all great fun, and everybody seems to be having a good time, and I get plenty of exposure for my brand here, so I think it's been worthwhile around about the whole way. It's been worthwhile.
Well, we're afternoon for the John Bull Gymkhana.
This is the first competitive event, if you like to call it competitive. It's a gymkhana. It's just a lot of fun, and just look at the weather. Everybody rides in shorts. It's too hot to do anything else. Just look at this for serious stuff.
Oh, I see. This is for fun.
Winner Rob Coleman, 66 years old, and if he can do it, why can't you?
It's amazing what ex-world champions will get up to.
I find it safer that way.
Yeah, but I understand you've got wide ratios now, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, that makes it a lot easier.
Does it?
They lay each side of the tank.
Aha.
This is Erhard Linke, the German driver. His goodsy wasn't quite suitable for our sort of playing, if you like. It's very long-legged. It was probably the quickest motorcycle on the Milan Taranto, but if any of you are thinking of coming to Malta, get an older bike that's a nice plodder. It'll be far more suitable. This is Bob Hackett from Welsh Wales. And this is young Ian Lawson, the youngest rider on the rally. He just punctured his Triumph, so Bob very kindly lent him his AJ for the event. It's highly illegal, of course, by the rules, but when you're doing this sort of thing, one tends to forget the rules for a little while. I had originally entered my 1928 Triumph, but as there was nobody else in the class, I decided to use my 1934 one instead. It's the same Triumph I've used on every rally to date. This is just one of the many tests, of course, and if my almost 16 stone can do it, then I'm sure you can. The policeman John Battista with his 1953-ish, I can't remember exactly, Horex, a German motorcycle. He just restored that a few months ago. It's a beauty. It's a different test now. That was supposed to be a seesaw, but it ended up as a ramp. As Ian just picked up a few penalties. with his 1942 Harley. Fred is the UK distributor for Harleys. Anybody watching this that's a Harley man will know all about Fred and his London Harley places. Apparently he's also the oldest Harley distributor in Europe. He can certainly handle that big 750. Don't even need glasses for this one. It's not all motorcycling either. I bet you haven't done an egg and spoon race for a while. The biggest problem encountered by the overseas participants in the Malta Rally has been the problem of bringing their motorcycles over to Malta. Various people have ridden over, others have sent their bikes over one way or another. Rod Coleman actually air freighted his Norton all the way from New Zealand. Then we're not all Rod Colemans. So to solve the problem for our next rally in April 1994, what we're proposing is that we will collect your motorcycles in England. That is of course for the British contingent that's planning on coming. There will be a central pickup point where you will bring your motorcycles, we will collect them from there. We will put them in a container which will be specially prepared for the job. I have tried this system with my trailer. I have a 3-motorcycle trailer. It is absolutely foolproof, the system. The motorcycles will be bolted by the footrests, clamped at the footrests, so there is no problem at all. There's no question of them not being safe. I will probably be in the UK myself to see that they are all properly put in the container, safely put in the container, so there'll be absolutely no problem whatsoever as far as the safety of bikes is concerned. I'll clear them from Malta, and when you come here, your bikes will be here ready for you to use. We're back at Holiday Inn here, ready for another morning start. Another lovely day, beautiful sunshine again, everybody in shorts. Yes, Peter Barron's Mr. Scott. What a racket.
Dunlop for their sponsorship today, I understand. And Blue Label.
Blue Label! Had the beer and no tyres.
We've had the beer. Yeah, we're all expecting a free set of tyres, aren't we?
Blue Label is going.
No more? No more?
Right, can I have just a little...
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coming on now.
Right now...
You're
or?
Yes. Popeye.
No way!
Hello, sailor.
Hello.
Bernie Winters.
What have you got to tell us then?
Had a bloody good day, super.
You've had a super day, good.
First class.
Anybody else?
I've done a lot of work.
Right, you're in the way.
I've helped you out of another hole again today, haven't
Yes, you got me out of another hole today. Thank you.
And what about you?
Well, we'll have a nice day tomorrow again.
Out on the bike,
Yeah.
out on the open road, wide open throttle.
Yeah, tomorrow fast driving, racing through Malta. That's what we actually want.
Right, we'll see what happens. And what about our New Zealand contingent?
Well, back to second childhood, I guess.
Well, when we saw you in that sack, we thought it must have been, what, 50 years ago?
Yeah.
Or is it...
50?
50.
A lot more than 50.
A lot more than 50. Well, I was being flattering, you see.
Yeah. I wish it was just 50.
Well, you can still enjoy yourself whatever age you are.
Oh, sure.
And what about you? What do you think?
Oh, big thank you to all the hard-working marshals and the people who put it on. They really do work hard in the hot sun. Marvellous people.
Good out. What about some locals? What about some locals? What does the local think?
As I said earlier, the Malta Rally is not all about motorcycles. There's quite a bit of sightseeing as well. As you can see, Timmy here is doing the guide. Or is it Tony?
You can go inside the cave on the boat, which is quite dark, but then the sea lights up from underneath because it's a translucent turquoise color, very bright. The cavern itself is dark. The cavern is quite dark, but you can see the bottom of the sea because the water is quite translucent, and the light sort of goes through the water, and it seems like it's...
I reckon Tony would make quite a good guide.
What we are looking at now is a small island called Filfla. There's a saying that there are two-tailed lizards, but it's only a saying. And as you can see, there's a lot of debris around it because it was used as a bombing site for training after the war for the British services.
Is there going to be any indication that this is an SUM?
Or a number or anything?
There's no indication that it's going to be an SUM, is there? Any special colours?
There is, yes, I'm sorry, yes. If it's a secret unmanned, you have this.
Followed by?
Followed by that. So they'll be, say, 20 feet or 20 yards, whatever, I don't know, apart. So if the secret unmanned, then there will be a stop. And at this board will be the marshal, and you have to step.
As you can see, some of us take it pretty seriously. And here's all the marshals now. Tim is just giving the marshals their final instructions before they set off to their various posts.
Put him to the side, or he will go to the side, they've been told already. And they will let the other riders go by. Don't stop the stage because a rider has stopped. It's not important.
I'll expect I'll get lost the first corner I get to.
Right, he's promised not to switch this piece of magic wizardry on.
They're going to take it off.
They're going to take it off?
Yes, during the hill climb.
Had any effect on it?
If I get to the finish.
If you get to the finish?
Because I'm going to get lost. I'll get lost. I got lost the last two rallies, and I'm going to get lost in this one.
So really, it doesn't matter what time it is if you're lost, does it?
But still, I'll take part.
Right, that's what we've got. Number one off. Joe Anastasi trying to clock himself in with rally time. Now, I've already spoken to Lely Borg, and he's got a special speedometer, electronic things. Is this true? I mean, have you got one as well?
I had one on the Milan Taranto. I lost it on the bumpy roads in Rome.
Did you?
In Japan.
Well, I mean, that's not really in the spirit of the regulations, is it?
What is?
Electronic devices. I mean, the next thing you'll be doing is having supports and things like that.
Well, no, it's a little bicycle computer, actually, but it's very clever. In actual fact, I don't think it's any use at all on this sort of thing.
You're really taking this seriously. I mean, you're not. This is not just a bit of fun.
Well, put it this way. I want to get to the finish, and I want to be in reasonable time. The grub's at the finish, so I don't want to be too late.
What you really mean is, that's of course, starting number one, you'll be there first.
I should be, if I'm on time most of the time.
So you'll have the pick of the food?
Yes, as well. That is an advantage.
Oh, that's what it's all about then. You've got to be on time. I knew there was something in it. Have you got any special electronic devices?
No, just my charm.
Just your charm. Good.
It's going to get me through.
Do you think you're going to get lost, or do you think you need a guide?
I should be lost in about 700 metres.
700 metres?
At least that, looking at this, where it says no longer visible, I shall be no longer visible.
Right, well...
It'll be like doing it in the middle of the night. It'd be in darkness visible.
How do you think you're going to fare on the rally?
I have a chance if things go well.
I understand you was second up until about half a mile from the finish last time, and then you...
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Then you fell apart?
Yeah, my points fell to the ground, I couldn't find them.
Right, we'll see you later.
See you.
This is a husband and wife team, is it?
Certainly is. Going to navigate, she makes a mistake, it won't be husband and wife no longer.
Have you got any special sort of hidden devices, any electronics or...
Oh, I can't divulge at this time.
Oh, you can't?
No, sorry, no.
They're perfectly legal. You're very legal, are you?
Oh, very, yes, absolutely.
So we've got marriage certificates.
You've got certificates to prove it?
We'll probably end up in divorce after this, you know.
Well, I wouldn't hardly think so. No. He says he couldn't face training another one up.
No, oh, right, is that what it is?
It takes a long time, yeah.
I mean, it takes years, he said earlier on last week. What was it, 30-odd years?
Well, yeah.
Yeah? It's a long while for training, isn't it?
Sure is, yeah.
Right,
Still in the maternity home.
We'll see you later on tonight, and we'll see what your reactions are then.
Yeah.
What? Have you got any special secret weapons for the rally?
Yes. My navigator.
This is your navigator. This is your secret weapon.
Yeah.
Hi. Do you have anything like this back in New Zealand?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's been
It's about 50 years since you last did one.
Yeah.
Talk to you in a minute when the noise stops. What's your special feature for the rally?
Only the hold up for the roof guard.
Look, that's a bit fiendish, isn't it? Look, this is getting really professional. They seek him here, they seek him everywhere.
They find him nowhere.
Right, well, what's your secret weapon for the rally? I mean, does this job as...
to get it out already.
Does this job of PRO actually sort of make your job any easier? I mean, have you had any...
Not really, no. But I know I figured out where I can stop for a beer as well. You know.
A blue label, of course.
Blue.
A blue, of course.
Take away the blues. You know.
I thought for a minute you was bringing up the rear, but you're not, are you?
No, she's going to be marshalling along the way.
Uh-oh, be careful.
She might penalise me at some point today.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be a set of levers or something else missing now.
Yes, you bet.
Changed into a microwave, I understand.
That's
the last...
already changed, yes.
Yeah. So you're the sweeper, are you? You're making sure that if anybody's lost...
Everybody's on the right track.
On the right track. You'll sweep them up as you...
As I go along.
As you go along.
If I don't get lost myself, and I would find nobody behind.
As you can see, the crash helmet laws aren't too stringent in Malta. It's too hot to wear full-face hats and things like that, so one wears the minimum requirement. And here we are on the rally itself, on the special trials stage. This is Tim at the controls, Marshall at the top of the stage.
You made it. Well done. Well done. I was giving you lose hope.
That was me.
Can you tell us where you've been then?
Well, we've been everywhere.
That's my wife.
Dual carriageways.
Definitely getting a new wife.
You're definitely getting a new wife.
Definitely.
Right.
He's terrible, he
He
is.
isn't. Come on.
Don't listen to me. Don't
Next
listen to
instructions. Don't talk. Don't talk so much.
Listen, go straight out here to the main road. Straight out. Don't bear right. No, just go straight out to the main road. Off you go. Right. Oh, he's good.
He don't give me a chance.
Well.
Shut up.
Aerated knots. Trying to make up some time, I should think. John Baldacchino.
I thought they were all late.
In the Banbury, you're actually...
Well, bloody well, old Robinson, I'll give me.
Oh, he'll be taking a photograph.
A bone shaker.
A bone shaker?
Yes.
Yeah?
And a brain shaker too.
Well, you was in front of Joe on the road.
Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean I was doing any better time or I wasn't just as lost as he was.
Oh, that could be it.
Oh yes, it was tough, that's all I know. Yes, it was tough. It was very tough. It was much harder than I think.
You thought I was giving you directions, didn't you?
You did, yeah.
I was just waving to you.
Yeah, we took a wrong turn in there.
Well, you're not on your own. There's a lot more in front of you.
Should have turned there, shouldn't we?
Yeah, no, you were okay there, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God.
How are we doing for
What
time?
carry on. It was really good fun.
Good.
Thanks. I enjoyed it.
We've been shouting at each other.
I did notice that.
Yeah.
I did
What do you
notice.
say?
What do you say?
Oh, the only part that I liked very much, I stopped at the jar. I was lost, very lost. Had a cup of tea.
Had a cup of tea?
Yeah. It was so hot, I had to
Stay here.
get very fast.
What, in time or just generally lost?
In time here, but I lost.
Well, I think... Never mind, talking to everybody else. I think everybody was lost. Francis. He left on an M20 and arrived on the BMW.
The ones in Cartagena.
On the way down here.
Can you tell me how you can change an M20 into a BMW?
I told you, it's just charm.
Which I'd forgotten about all this charm, yeah. That's how you managed to attract this young lady from the other side of the world, isn't it?
Again, you see,
Yeah?
again charm.
Oh, look at this. Oh, you are a lucky lad, aren't you? No, but what about this secret timing device that you started out with? It didn't work? Different Marshall.
Well, it was fun. We enjoyed it. Had a good time.
I confused you a little by coming down the stage, didn't I?
Yes, you were coming the wrong way. We wondered where you were going to.
Teaching at the last but one roundabout, we were watching. 2-1 it was.
We don't have to take
And
I bet that bugger's got me on camera.
I noticed you go up the wrong way on a Traffic Island. You've only been here a week and you're learning the Maltese way. Rent a bike because the Scott expired.
Oh, it didn't expire. It was just mag trouble.
Oh, sorry, it had a little cough mixture.
Have a wonderful day. In Malta?
Yeah.
Yes, once we've done the Italian again.
Good. Well, that's looking forward to seeing you.
Had a wonderful day.
And Ian?
Looking forward to the next one now.
Good. And what about your secret weapon?
No secret weapon, but this was the best one ever.
The best one? You kept it undercover?
Yeah. Yes.
Laley's secret weapon, he had some electronics which we looked at earlier on. That didn't do him any good at all. He still got bloody lost. You forgot to switch it on. Well, the wonders of modern technology, and it goes all to pieces if a human doesn't switch it on. Somebody said, have I got the camcorder on?
Yeah, you have.
What about you?
No secret weapon, just a comment. It's not worth doing on a rigid bike.
Isn't it?
No.
Shakes you to pieces.
Too shaky.
Too shaky.
Get a decent golf ball, isn't it? It's been a good day. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good.
Win this rally.
And what about the husband and wife team? The ones that get on so well together.
It's a gizmo.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Romantic.
Good. And our German contingent, what do you think? You stayed at home by the pool.
No, yes, today, but not tomorrow.
No, wasn't the gutsy up to it then?
Yes. No, there's nothing for my bike. You know this already.
Yeah.
I just have to race.
You just have to race.
Yes.
And look after the young ladies. I noticed the way you're looking after the young ladies.
Some racing drop too.
Oh, yeah. You mean it's a young filly?
Yes.
Hello, that man's popped up behind again. Hello, what's he doing there?
When you turn around and say, darling, this is the wonderful thing. How do you go for tall men?
He's grown in stature since he's been here.
Problem, I couldn't read Maltese.
You couldn't read Maltese?
No.
Well, I'll let you into a secret. Most of the Maltese can't.
You know that?
You tagged on the back of somebody else, I think, didn't you?
Look at the bike that's done the most miles.
Is there a prize for the longest distance travel?
There should be.
I live in Oaks.
You're living in Oaks?
Yeah, I hope it's 5 gallons of oil. Get back home.
Right. We'll see you later.
Well, I'm probably the most travelled, come the longest distance.
What, on the bike?
Oh, no.
Ah, but it's on the bike.
No, not on the bike.
You can't count aeroplanes.
Oh, I see. Oh, well.
And camera to remember everything.
You've got enough root of mine on that camera already.
Tell us what happened to the M20.
Well, I told you that already. It overheated.
Well, you said something about overheated and going back and
the petrol in the car was evaporating.
so you'd been thrashing it so much.
So, well, I think it's just sort of poodling around at a slow pace, I think, that made it go.
The best thing
and
is
did it
to
just
make
stop
men-
altogether?
Right. I did catch you going the wrong way around the traffic island. Somebody was waving, I think it was 2 fingers at you. Somebody's pulling my zip down at this moment.
Either they were going far too fast, and they just sort of stopped on the corner, and I thought they'd gone the wrong way. I started this side thinking I was clever, and they all started shooting off again.
Well,
And I left me no alternative because the traffic was coming everywhere, so...
if you hadn't have gone the wrong way...
Nothing coming that way, nothing coming that way. And I thought, I'll shoot up there. Just bugger me, then this bugger come from nowhere. Did you hear him hoot me?
I did hear him hoot, yes, yeah. To say to finish off.
What have I got to say? Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know about everybody else, but there's a lot of smiling faces around, so I reckon everybody else seems to have enjoyed it. It was very tough, actually. This is the toughest rally we've had. Of the 3 we've had since the club started 3 years ago, this was definitely the toughest one. When I asked Tony and Tim to organise a rally for this particular event, where I knew we were going to have virtually 50% people that hadn't been on the island at all, didn't know the island, I asked them to make it a sort of double around the island, really, but it wasn't. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And, well, anyhow, everybody else seems to. And the main thing is lateness or no lateness. Everybody seems to have made it to the finish on time, so everybody's finishers, and
Well, that's what
now
it's
we
all
can go
about.
and have a good meal, and that's it.
Hello, what's happening here?
Inevitably, rallies nowadays seem to always finish at my house, and this is Tim and Tony and the officials, Bruno and Anton, that are working out the